And here we go. Welcome back to another Bitcoin chart update. A lot of stuff is happening, a lot of stuff has happened, and now of course we want to know what's going to follow up. So coming from yesterday we were the 21st, and this was more or less here that we were streaming. So what did I say? We did break out of this triangle shape formation. Pulling up, we could reach the top and we could break up. This clearly didn't happen. But another option was that we were just going to respect this rising channel, and this is exactly what we did. So touching the higher band of the channel, right now we are seeing a pullback, a nice bounce within the blue box area. And now, of course, what are the reactions that we could be expecting, and what are the things that we do not want to see, of course, because from here on the 6-hour chart, if you guys can see this right here, and of course all these two, we do have a bullish divergence. Yeah, so we did find some support right now as it is presenting itself. But of course, because this candle is a 6-hour candle and it didn't completely close yet, a lot is still possible. Many things are still possible. We could see more pressure to the downside, of course, just creating a stronger bullish divergence. But on the other hand, we could also see a little bit of recovery and a pulling back up as a reaction of this bullish signal. Now, things that I notice on a first glance, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people already have their eyes on this. This is that potentially we could see a head and shoulders pattern forming. Head and shoulders, usually bad stuff, and result in at least more downtrend on the shorter term time frame. Now, of course, how do we recognize a head and shoulders pattern? Because as long as we don't break the trend, we could still see a recovery to the upside. But this is where our analysis and the follow-up of the analysis is going to be very important to identify this and to make sure you don't get trapped in a long position that's going down further and further more. Of course, how low could it go? Right now, the most important levels that I can see are the levels that we marked off in the past. So in between those two red lines, we could find a little bit of a bottom, or here on the blue box at worst, I do believe. At least we could find some support that would help at least initiate another move to the upside. But then, of course, like I keep saying time after time, we go level by level, and every time we reach something, it's important to evaluate again what the reaction could be and what this reaction could mean, the meaningfulness of the different levels that we reach from the reaction. This is the best way to go by your trades day by day, time by time, again and again. Now, yesterday I did miss a few chats on DLive. So from time to time you will see me switching channels just to make sure that I'm not missing any chat or any replies. I really have to apologize for this. I use this little app that normally should pop up every single one of the chats. You can see it here in the corner, But yeah, for some reason on DLive it just failed to work. So yeah, I really sincerely do apologize for this. Now, okay, let's go down to the meat and potatoes of the whole situation. First thing first, let's go down to the lower time frames. Let's have a look at what we see here, because on the lower time frames we do see very strong bullish momentum being present. So first of all, building up from this, what we do want to see at least is some support being found on these levels and building up momentum going up to the upside. Now, one of the things that we could have is have a retest, which already starts looking a lot like a bullish, like a head and shoulders pattern, right? If you see the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, all on the same level, this looks very scary. Now, one of the things that could either confirm or deny this this formation could be the RSI, a read on the RSI, where as we retest these levels, we could see a little bit more of a downslope and a build up again. This could be very bullish. Now, on the other hand, if RSI just respects the same structure, and even on the retest here, we do see maybe some, let's see, some bearish divergence here. As you can see, lower high, higher high. This would really mean that we go down for the dumps. Now, of course, this is very premature to be talking about it, but it's very important that we know exactly what kind of waters we are swimming in. On the other hand, like I said, if we manage to maybe reach a little bit lower here and RSI would stay on a higher low, this would be a very bullish sign, and then I think we can forget this whole idea about head and shoulders pattern. So keep this really close, keep a close eye on this situation, because this is going to be a make or break situation for this entire rising channel structure. On the other hand, again, what speaks against the uptrend is that this is a rising channel, and usually rising channels do have a tendency to be easier to break to the downside than they are to break to the upside. Okay, so this is another reason why we are going to keep a close eye on this channel. We are even going to remove the red line because we broke it. This is not valid anymore. My apologies. This cough just won't go away. Now, okay, let's have a look at the RSI levels here, and let's see how far we want to go and where we can start seeing some divergences in play, whether or not it is even possible, because this is a very short structure. So let's take Pigs his calculator, and let's go in for the reads, right? Right here, this low is sitting at, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This low is sitting at 26.9, let's call it 27. Yeah. So 27 on the RSI, this would give us 17,500. And 17,500 is right here in this lower area. Let's do it like this. Yeah, that's close enough. And maybe we want to pull this up till here. So basically a retest here of this lower band maybe even let's do it like this. Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be much better. And maybe we can set this one here. So a retest on the shorter time frame of this section here could completely negate the idea of a head and shoulders pattern, because this is just going to give us much more momentum that we need to break back to the upside. Yeah. All right, so this is already very good. So what we don't want to see is a head and shoulders pattern doing this, bouncing here, and then usually it's going to be followed up by a dead cat bounce. So keep that in mind. The difference is very small, and it's very important to keep your eyes on the RSI at the same time as this is happening, because RSI alone doesn't say a thing. Price action alone also doesn't say a thing. You have to keep your eyes on everything that you think is relevant, and then learn how to read these things together, how to find the correct relation between your indicators and your price action. Now, let's go further down the line or up the line. Let's go to the 2-hour time frame and let's have a look at what we see here. So right here on the 2-hour time frame, we can see that we have a very strong bullish divergence again. This is coming from this area, this area, this area, all higher lows compared to the new low that we built here. And on the price action, yes, higher lows. So again, I would not call this a bad situation. It looks more positive than you might think. But yeah, of course, you know, we have to keep our eyes open. So again, let's do a little bit of RSI magic and let's see what the numbers read here. So this is sitting at 29.38. And we're going to take it exactly to the 100th of a decimal, 29.38, because this is such a short frame, such a short window that we really want to be exact. So same thing, a little bit higher, 17,585, 17,570, you know, let's call it 17,550. Oh, whoopsie daisy. 17,550. Or let's call it 75, you know, just to narrow it down a little bit more. So yeah, the range is tightening up a little bit, but this is a 2-hour chart, so this is actually fairly logical. The 2-hour chart has a little bit more time to close. So yeah, basically we could see a wick getting a little bit lower, while actually the candles are going to close within this blue box area. So yeah, of course, again, no reason to panic, but depending on the close, this could signal that the head and shoulders pattern is forming. Another thing that is very important to keep your eyes on is if the 2-hour chart manages to close below this area, then we have a continuation pattern. So this is where the RSI is going to make a lower low and the price is also going to follow with a lower low. And this is continuation of the trend. And you know, there might be a bounce, but if you're in a long position, this is where I would decide to close my long position, whether it's at a loss or not. Just ride it out and see what happens. Best case scenario, if we pull up, then we are going to be able to enter new long positions in the future. So this is not a death sentence for your trading opportunities. Okay, so keep that very well in mind. But right now we are in literally a make or break situation. This is where, you know, we need to be paying attention. Also, this is Sunday. Sunday, we are closing the week on the spot action. So we're going to have a look all the way down the line to what the spot action also is looking like, what the weekly close is looking at, and maybe we can even look at the Bitcoin derivatives, the CMEs, sorry, to see and compare what the weekly close on CME looks like and what the weekly close of the spot action looks like. So let's go further down the line. We get the 6-hour chart. This one, of course, is not going to help us way too much with the head and shoulders pattern, or maybe at least, you know, let's give it a try. But this is going to need a lot of time to go over it. But yeah, as you can see, this left shoulder here, it took at least 2 days to form, does it? Let's measure it. Let's go like this. Yeah, almost 2 days. Yeah, let's call it 2 days. What did I do? Did I do something bad? Usually I did. All right, so let's just have a look for funs and giggles to see what we should expect on the longer time frames. The low of the RSI is sitting here at 49.1. So let's have a look at 49.1. 49.1. And let's do some magic numbers. So right here, and this is interesting. This is interesting because this paints a picture. Now, actually, the 6-hour chart tells us right now, as it is presenting right now, because this first candle didn't even close. It's very, very premature to be reading, to be making a read off of this. So you know what? I'm just going to disregard the 6-hour time frame because it's just way too narrow. Maybe the 3-hour can give us a little more insight. Let's have a look. The 3-hour, 36, let's call it 37. 37, what does this one say? 17,755. So yeah, that's even more narrow. This would actually be sitting on the low wick of this green candle. So yeah, for now, as it stands for now, I could only go by the 1 and 2-hour chart. I know this is very, very short, but yeah, like I said, this is very premature to call it. So be careful, don't jump the gun, don't think just from this read that we are actually going to see an enormous dump after this, but be ready for it. Be ready for it, and at the same time, be also ready to take the uptrend if you see that there's a confirmation that we are actually just recovering and that we are keeping the flow of the trend going. Now, another thing that I found very important regarding a head and shoulders pattern. I did do some research on stocks charts, stock chart school, where they give a very nice description of the head and shoulder patterns, where a trend is respected, just like we are seeing here. But on the close of the head, we need already to be touching the lower edge of the trend line. So basically, the right shoulder should be sitting outside of this trend line. So this is number one, why I am not yet convinced that we are dealing with a head and shoulders pattern. Number two, and this is one that is actually a little bit more confirming the head and shoulders pattern. This is the volume signature. So I don't know if this is very clear here. Maybe I can remove this. Close it. Well, this is the volume pattern. And what we see is on the left shoulder, we have more volume rising up. On the head, we do have less volume. And on the right shoulder, volume is also at a very, very low. Now, confirming the bottom of the right shoulder, you can measure it out by measuring the height of the head and the neckline, which is a blue line, and then just extending it to the downside. There's going to be a touch back up, signaled by a very, very strong rise in volume. Now, if we see this signal, I think this is where we could start thinking about shorting the whole situation, because usually this is a complete trend reversal, and this is where we can start thinking about shorting the stuff and then shorting the tops every time. Just like we were doing on an uptrend, where every time we just long the bottom, buy the dip, you all know the expression. And you know, this is then the other side of the picture, how you should trade the downtrend. But of course, this is very, very premature. It's way too early to be really talking about these things. But at least, you know, I want to prepare you guys. I don't want to instigate any kind of fear and, you know, negativity in the market for now, because like I said, right now we need to see how this whole situation plays out. Okay, so another thing, right now we do see the strong reaction of the support line here in the blue area. We also see that on the 3-hour chart, the stochastics are already starting to curl up again. We are in the bearish control zone. Okay, so this does not mean that it's going to shoot up and we are going to see new all-time highs and all that blue sky stuff, but having such a nice big candle already, having such a long wick on this red candle, this could signal that we are seeing a lot of buying pressure to the upside again. Now, in order for us to measure the upside, if we start going back up, do we need to get a bullish divergence or some sort of divergence fear from this situation? Actually, I don't think so, unless we break the former high. And this is where, again, we need to keep our eyes open, because breaking this high too quickly and not making a new high on the RSI, so having a situation like this, where RSI stays below, this could again put us in trouble and put some pressure to the downside. Okay, so it's gonna go really slow today. We will have to wait it out. Me personally, and this is only my opinion, I am actually hoping for at least a retest here in the blue box and slowly building up the case for the bulls, and then keep going again. All this being compared with a rising of the lows on the RSI, and you know, this is where we can start looking at blue skies again. But yeah, just take it slow, take it easy, don't go too fast and don't jump the gun. Now let's look at the weekly close. The weekly close is actually looking a little bit topped out. But we are right now already building a higher high on the RSI compared to this situation here. So basically this is a strong signal. Even if right now we start reversing the trend, this means that we are at least going to find some support here on one of these areas, and that the bull run later on will continue. So, you know, don't panic too much. Don't think that Bitcoin is going to zero, as we are getting ready to close right now, and hopefully we stay within this area. Everything should be looking good. Now let's just have a little look and let's see how high price action is at this RSI level. So let's do some magic calculations again. We get 83.68, 83.68, and this tells us that price needs to close above 17,864. So right now we are well above it, 18,088. Hopefully by the turn of the clock at midnight UTC, we are still above this price range, and then, you know, blue skies are just going to keep on going. Could we close below? It is possible, but then it depends again at how this formation build up during the rest of the day, and whether we were able to find some bullishness in this whole situation. Also keep in mind that just closing above this could also be a very good signal, because then we would have a higher high, a higher low, with higher lows on the price action, which is again continuation, and then we can just go ahead and be all safe. The only thing that we do not want to see, as I said, was actually breaking this blue line here and seeing continuation to the downside, or having a build up higher low with a lower low on the RSI. This is what we don't want to see. Okay, now yeah, I think no, I'm wrong. Scratch that, because those are divergences. What we don't want to see is having a lower low and a lower low. This is where we would see. Am I wrong now? Let's take the cheat sheet and let's just have a look and make sure. There we go. So on the low ends, yeah, basically what we don't want to see is a continuation of the trend. So either the lows are different on the RSI, we get a lower low on the RSI over a higher low on price action, or we get a higher low on RSI, a lower low on price action, or we get price action indicators just being flat on the same level while price is crawling up. What we don't want to see is RSI being stuck on the same level as price is going down. Seeing this in a reverse, this could be the bearish signal that we don't want to have. This is a continuation to the downside. All right, so keep that in mind. Sometimes you can make mistakes, and there is a lot of information to be found on the internet. As you can see, sometimes you just have to accept that there are some things that but when you're not sure about something, just look it up. Basically, that's my point. All right, so now let's have a look at CMEs, and this is BTC1, and let's see how the markets did close for this one. So right here on the weekly close, we do see that we actually have a bearish divergence. This section and this one. So there could be pressure to the downside in the next week. This is perfectly possible. Let's have a look at the lower time frames, where we do see the same thing. We do see a lower low on the RSI over a higher low, a lower high on the RSI over a higher high on the price action, which actually is not boding so well. So yeah, let's keep an eye on the price action. Let's see what is happening and where we are gonna go. Let's also have a little look at the dollar strength. And the dollar, like we said yesterday, it did close pretty okay. We do see RSI pulling up, making higher lows, as price action was making lower lows. So there could be a chance that the dollar is going to start pushing to new higher areas, which on itself could indicate that the markets and also Bitcoin are going to feel some pressure to the downside. So yeah, a lot to keep your eyes on, keep your eyes peeled, be very careful. But on this note, I'm going to cut it short. I wish you guys the best of the best. I hope you guys are gonna have really great trades and don't miss any opportunities. Make sure you keep your trades safe. Think about what we talked about. Potentially head and shoulders pattern, but only if and when it gets confirmed. The only thing that could basically negate the head and shoulders pattern is closing here inside this blue box area. If we close above it, keep your eyes on the RSI. Make sure that the RSI reads the same thing. If we do close below it, same thing. Make sure that RSI is not making a lower low as well. Well, yeah, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to join me on my Discord channel, sign up to Bybit using my affiliate link. You can find this here on the side, on the website. Also, like I've been trying to make this whole situation more appealing for you to become part of the group we are building. I am building a community. I'm really working hard as shit to build this community. What I want to do in order to give back to the community is make so that if you sign up using the affiliate link, as soon as we get 10 members in the group, I will be giving away a portion of the affiliate rewards to the #1 most active trader. This will help us build a community of real active traders and not just people trying to join the Discord to become trolls and to make it a toxic environment. I want to avoid this. Also, growing further, going to 50 members, I will raise the bar and I will make it a bigger giveaway. And at 200 members, I will go all out. I will not all out, but I will share 50% of the affiliate revenue with the 10 most active traders. So yeah, Spread the word. Join the affiliate program. Don't miss this opportunity. We're trying to build like a really nice family, a nice community where we can all help each other, because sharing is caring, and you can get back just as much as you put in. This is where I want to go. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great Sunday. I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 12:30 UTC, with more updates on the BTC chart. And of course, the beginning of the new week. It's going to be very exciting. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff to be looking at. Now, thank you very much. Keep yourself safe, stay COVID free, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Be there, be square. Bye bye.